The 1955 Lincoln 1 cent is a coin that instantly makes collectors lean forward, because a single mistake in the minting presses of the 1950s turned this ordinary penny into a legend. One of the best-known examples, the famous 1955 double die variety, has sold for more than $114,000 in top condition, while even normal high-grade business strikes have reached well above $2,000 at auction. When a coin carries a story powerful enough to turn a single cent into a five-figure prize, you know you're looking at one of the most iconic pieces in American numismatics. Support our effort, subscribe, like, and share so we can bring you more amazing coin videos. The story of the 1955 penny begins in the Philadelphia Mint, during a time when the United States was pushing more coins into circulation than ever before. It was the post-war boom, the economy was surging, and the mint's presses were running long hours. On one of those long nights, a die was accidentally misaligned before being strengthened with a second strike. That slight twist created the dramatic doubling on the date and lettering that would later stun collectors. Today, that variety is so famous that even people outside the hobby recognize it immediately. But even the regular 1955 cent, the one without doubling, has become desirable because collectors know that this year carries history, mystery, and an unbreakable connection to one of the biggest minting events in the Lincoln series. A normal 1955 cent might seem common at first. You can still find worn examples in old jars, inherited collections, and boxes long forgotten in drawers. But condition is everything. A worn coin might only bring a few dollars, but when the surfaces are sharp, the red color is preserved, and the details remain crisp, the value rises quickly. Collectors love the look of a fresh 1955 cent because the mintage was high, but the number of surviving high-grade pieces is surprisingly low. Decades of circulation have softened most coins, leaving only a small group of well-preserved examples that appear at major auctions. That scarcity of top-tier condition keeps prices competitive and ensures that bidders push hard for the best specimens. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, holds the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the wheat stalks on the reverse. By 1955, the wheat cent was in its final decade, and collectors today appreciate how beautifully the older reverse balances simplicity with symbolism. Every crisp line in Lincoln's coat, every grain in the wheat ears, adds to the charm of this coin when viewed under good light. And because the 1950s minting technology wasn't as precise as modern equipment, each coin carries tiny quirks, slightly different luster, strike sharpness, and texture that make high-grade survivors even more special. Collectors often talk about the thrill of checking every 1955 penny they find, hoping for that moment when the doubling jumps out instantly. It has happened to everyday people, someone searching a small jar of loose change suddenly holding a coin that could pay off a car. That possibility keeps the 1955 cent forever exciting, forever checked, forever talked about. Even if the coin you find happens to be the normal version, not the famous double die, it still carries a year that shaped the hobby and continues drawing strong interest from anyone who appreciates the drama of historical minting. The 1955 cent remains more than a coin. It is a symbol of how a tiny error and a moment of chance can create something unforgettable. Whether it's a rare variety worth over $100,000 or a normal high-grade example bringing in thousands, the value of the 1955 penny lies just as much in its story as in its copper. It reminds collectors that history doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in the smallest places, waiting to be discovered.